No, you can go. I'm live now. What's up, everybody? Victor Shadrach Natik Kwechu here, Kwechu Global, and you are welcome to this channel. If you're here, give me a high, thumb up. Give me a high, a thumb up, and we get going. If you're here, let me know. If you are here, let me know. If you are here, let me know.
Send the link to me. How will I choose?
Just check my channel, it will come. Hello, everyone. If you are here, let me know. Okay, I've got one person. If you are here, just give me a hi to see if you are here, and let me know where you are watching me from. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kwacho Global. Today, we're gonna have a live discussion on a video I posted a while ago about what will you do? On what will you do? Today is gonna be a discussion with a very good friend of mine who is an advisor to married couples and young women who are getting ready to get married. And she watched the video and she um, decided to make time to have us talk about the that particular subject. Hello, everyone. I lost that 1,000 person who just watched. So if you're here, give me a hi. So this is an open discussion. Um, you can join if you are watching and you'd like to join. And let's talk about what you will do if you are the person in the shoe of the one who sent a story. So let's know what you do. Let's know exactly what you will do. It's an open discussion. I've got one person join, blind guy. Yes, yes, I am live today. Thanks for joining. I'm live today. Thanks for joining. So basically, it's today's session is going to be a discussion on the story I posted about the young lady who is married and she's having issues in the marriage because she believes that her mother is the cause for the problems she's having in her marriage. However, she believes that her mother should have taught her some things about menstruation, about relationship, about marriage, and basically the pros and cons in marriage. To had known these things, to had been aware of these things before getting into it. But because she hasn't gotten it, she's having issues and she's blaming her mother for it. Basically, she's not talking with her mother. Just a second. Just a second. Sorry about that. Well, so I'm having a friend and more of a sister join because she she's into counseling young women who are getting into relationships or are in relationships or getting ready to get married, and she wants to offer a very big help to the lady that sent her story. So basically, if it is you, what will you do? If it is you, what will you do? She blames her mother. She blames her mother for what she's facing in her marriage. So if it is you, what will you do? And before I have my guest on, I'd like to read a story again. I'd like to read a story again to your hearing, and then we hear what you've got to say. The whole point is that she's in a grudge with her mother. So I'm just going to read the story to you again. It says, I really need your help. I am frustrated and getting tired. I'm very upset with my mother and I'm not sure I will talk with her again for a long time. The grudge is that serious. I am married and I have traveled out of the country. My problem is I don't know why. Okay. This week be interesting. Wow. This week be interesting. So basically she said she doesn't understand why African parents don't teach their children some things about sex, about marriage and all of that. And I'm having big time troubles, like really big issues in my marriage. I am mad at my mother because she has never educated me on anything relationship, anything marriage, sex, and even menstruation. Mr. Quacho, I don't want to talk to my mother again. I don't want to even see her face again. The only people giving me advice is my friends, but it's not helping. I don't want to lose my marriage. I don't know what to do. Please help me. So basically, this is her story. Wow. So I have my guest here. She's on standby. She's just waiting for me to launch her in. So once again, one second, one second.
Hello.
So basically,
Yes.
she is in
Hello.
trouble. She is in a place where she's
Yes.
literally having a fight with her mother because she believes her
Hello.
mother is the cause for her marriage.
Oh, he's busy. He'll call you back.
So my guest, she's called
How are you?
Precious. I'll just
How
mention the
are you?
Precious just so that I don't get the other name pronounced wrongly. I'll just mention the Precious. Welcome, Precious.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be
And
here,
thanks for
Victor. Good to see you again.
good to see you too. Good to see you too.
Can you confirm
Thanks for
if my
joining.
lighting and my sound is okay? Am I audible enough?
Yes, I can hear you very well. If my
All
audience
right.
can hear you as well, they can also say give us a yes
Yes.
if they can hear you well. And if they can also hear me well, please do give me a yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Can you hear Precious? So Precious, you can speak again. Hey Henrietta, thanks for joining.
Hello, audience. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Okay, Ikea Global says she can hear us.
That's
Henrietta, can you
fine.
hear us well? Okay. Henrietta, good to see you as well. Good to see you. Well, so we'll be reading the comments as well along the way and
Great.
get going. So basically, we're having an open discussion from the story I uploaded a while ago about the young lady who believes her mother is the cause for the problems in her marriage. And today, I'm here with Precious to share some help and advice to that very beautiful young lady. She's watching though, but I'm sure she'll watch after this. I would notify her, but she'll watch definitely. So please, Precious, kindly tell us a little bit about you, and we want to know who you are first of all before I proceed.
My name is Precious Sefako Amebo. I am a mother of five, four boys, four strong boys and a girl. The girl is more than a boy. And I'm the founder of Flourish Family Life, where we advocate and pray for a sound family unit, a sound home, because we do believe that a peaceful home, a sound home, or a peaceful world begins with a sound family unit.
Mm,
So that is our core vision, to coach, to pray, to offer education, and then also advocacy, to make sure that the family unit is a safe place to be. And I'm a
awesome,
Toastmaster as well.
awesome, awesome, awesome. thanks for joining, and thanks for availing yourself to want to throw light on the subject. And thanks for watching the video too. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. So we start off with a story. I shared a story with you. So here's this young lady who is out of the country and she's having issues in a marriage. First of all, she believes her mother is at fault for not teaching her anything about love. So can we take it from there? What would you say to this young lady who is having issues and
When she
thinks that
says when she says her mother did not teach her anything about love, what kind of love is she talking about?
well, because she's in a relationship, married now, she feels that she should have known this better. She should have known much about love and being with somebody, being able to relate with the person, being able to manage the person, being able to have so basically a love romantic relationship with the person. That is what she is looking at right now.
So, if I get it right, she is thinking about a romantic relationship or intimacy as love.
Yes, basically
People
intimacy as love.
get married. People marry for different reasons, and I'm sure her problem has to do with intimacy from the story I read
Yes,
and I
yes,
watched. So her
yeah,
problem has to do with intimacy.
yeah.
So let us concentrate on that
Okay, okay,
as the subject for discussion
that's fine.
today.
That's fine.
To begin with, my dear young lady, if you are watching, let me say that the very first solution or steps you have to take to solve your problem is to first forgive your mother.
Mm,
Why do I say forgive your mother? It's important. One cannot give what he or she doesn't have. And so if your mother did not get that education from her mother, she cannot give it to you.
yeah, yeah,
Your mother
yeah.
cannot give you what she doesn't have. She'll be pouring from an empty jar.
Mm,
And
mm,
so if even she did, she would have poured from an empty jar.
mm,
Either misguided is a problem later in future
mm.
anyway, if she did pour from an empty jar. Your mother, was she wrong not to have educated you? Yes and no.
Mm.
Yes, because she should have known better.
Definitely.
She was exposed or open to learning to say that I did not get it, but I do not want my daughter to suffer what I have suffered. Because to tell you the truth, she may have suffered what you are going through now, but she
Mm.
could not come out to say it like you have come up to say it.
Wow.
So first of all, identifying the problem is the beginning of the solution.
Wow.
So let's say that you have identified the problem, you have come out. It means that you are ready to find solution to the problem. Finding solution to the problem first, like I said earlier, forgive your mother because she did not know it.
Wow.
So that is why she was wrong. She should have learned to say that, well, I have gone through it. It didn't work for me. Let me educate myself so I can gain knowledge to educate my daughter.
Mm.
She failed at that.
I think,
But
before you go on, with what you're saying, I want to find out this thing. Why is it that many African parents refuse to even open up to their children about these things, like you are saying right now? She didn't get it. She didn't learn these things. Why? Why do they close these things from their children? Why? Would you be able to share something with us on that?
so growing up, it was more like a taboo to even mention your private parts. I mean, your vagina and your penis. It was a taboo.
Yeah, definitely. It was.
It was a taboo. So that mentioning that sounds and feels as if you have not been trained well from home.
Mm.
So nobody wants to. I mean, I think this whole thing happens because, or it's like that, or it was like that because sex in itself is sacred.
Yeah.
So mentioning the sexual organ, it's a no-go area because this is a sacred thing. You should not mention it. You should not talk about it. So that is how some of us, most of us, my age and upwards, even there are people your age who still have that fear, whose parents have that fear. There are people my age who have that fear now in this day and age.
Yeah.
So it is because of our orientation, our background as African people. No one is to be blamed for this. But when we have identified the problem and we make no deliberate effort to solve it, to bridge the gap, then you and I would fail as well. I'm glad this platform is here, that we can discuss, to educate, to create the awareness that, hey, it's very important to open up to your children. It's very important to talk about it. If you do not educate your children will get education from somewhere, good or bad.
And that can be
the best person to educate. The best person to educate, yes, your child is you, because you will not misinform or miseducate your child, except when you do not know what you are talking about. But if you know what you are talking about, the knowledge you impart, you are sure of it, undiluted. So your child will not go elsewhere to learn to say that my mom is wrong, or my mom, your child will believe you. That is the awareness that we must create now in this day and age. If no one educates your child, trust me, the internet is there. The internet will do a good job for you.
And that if you're not careful, the child might get a wrong information or a wrong education.
Exactly. So like I was saying earlier, your mother was not at fault either, because she did not have. Remember, I said she was at fault for not educating herself in order to impact. Yes. So she is not at fault again. So you can blame her, you cannot blame her. That is why I said the very first step to solve this problem is to forgive your mother. Open up. Open up to her. Tell her how you feel about her. Tell her the damage you think she's caused to you. And your mother will open up, and you will realize that you are both in the same soup. You can only try to realize that you are both in the same soup. Maybe your liberation will bring your mother liberation.
Wow. You know, this thing you are saying brings me to what I used to experience. You know, from growing up basically to I got to 30 years before I was able to be able to boldly say, this is my girlfriend, or I have a girlfriend, or I've chosen to have a girlfriend. And one of the things that I knew was very distinctive during the time for me was that I knew that this thing was out. Like there's that void of love, you know, like motherly love that I never had, I never experienced growing up. And I used to have issues with married people. I used to think that, oh, people, what are you doing and all that, simply because I didn't experience some things about love, basically from mother to son, that kind of thing. And just what you are saying, there's this friend of mine as well who is also grown up. She was telling me that I should also have an open discussion. Open up to my mother and tell my mother basically all the hurts that I've experienced, all the things that I've gone through as a result of that. Then through that, I'll heal. So this thing you're saying right now just brings me back to that part again, that, you know, like we have to have an open discussion with our parents many times, which helps. So thanks so much for sharing that. Thanks so much for sharing that. I think it's a wake-up call
Let me add that your friend is right. Having an open discussion with your mom, being transparent and calling a spade, is the beginning of your healing. It is when right now you think you are not hurting. You think you have no scars, but trust me, you have deep-rooted scars that may surface in the very near future when you become a father. But opening up and having this conversation with your mother can even equip you to be a good father or a perfect father. There is nothing like perfect when it comes to parenting. There is no book, there is nothing like a textbook that you can read to write your exam as a parent and pass, because we are all different. We have been wired differently. Even though we are all made in the image of God, God has given us individual characteristics to equip us for the purpose he has given us on earth. So no two individuals can be same. We all bear the characteristics of God, but we do not bear the characteristics of one another. We are uniquely made.
Definitely.
And so opening up and hearing from the other person can equip you to become a good father or a good mother.
Before you go on,
important. Please.
Awesome. Before you go, we have a question from Equia Global. She's asking, what if our parents aren't ready with the open discussion? What should we do? Basically. So, for example, the lady that you are sharing this with, you said she should have a discussion with her mother and basically share all the hurts and the things that she's going through. And Equia Global is asking that, what if, so it could be that she's in the same shoe. What if the parent is not ready? The parent doesn't want to have this discussion. What should she do in this time?
If a parent doesn't want to have this discussion, it's fine. It means that that parent has not been empowered enough to open up. You don't blame such a person. Remember, I said we are made differently. And the aha moment for everybody comes at a certain point. If you have not reached your aha moment, there's no way you will learn. There's no way you come to the realization that I need to learn this or I need to open up. So if a parent is not ready, there is still hope. Why do I say there is still hope? There is hope because there are life coaches. My platform, we offer same services, sometimes for free, sometimes at a fee, but mostly for free. There are a lot of coaches out there, and there are a lot of Christian women going into coaching now just to help young women and young men who are broken. There is still hope. You can open up to someone you trust who has been trained, who has been called. Someone has been trained but has not been called for this job. The person can do something but cannot meet both spiritual and physical needs together. Both needs to be met. Both needs to be met. So look for someone who can educate you in this. I was going to come to that. I was going to come to that you look for someone who you can open up to. See, even if you opened up to your mother and had the open discussion, you still will need a life coach. You still will need someone to take you through from stage to stage. It took me, my aha moment came when I had my fourth child 10 years ago. Issues relating to intimacy, sex, let me be blunt, came to me. I mean, I got to know what it really was 10 years ago.
Wow.
I had been married for how many years?
Wow.
10 years ago, after my third boy. So you can imagine what I have had to go through, what my husband has gone through, the problems. There are times when whatever the problem is something very little. But because there is no intimacy, because there is no understanding, the problem becomes big, or it is made big. Because when the problem is made big, but it's something small, you should know that there are underlying issues. And one of those issues has to do with intimacy. It has to do with intimacy. So opening up to your mother, talking about it is a great idea. If she's not there, there's still hope. After you open up to your mother, you still need someone to walk you through, because your mother did not do it and she can't do a perfect job now. But you need her to grow. If she's not there, rely on Holy Spirit to grow and get someone, a coach you can trust, who can walk you through the process. There is still hope. My aha moment, my awareness came 10 years ago. And that was the beginning of my ministry. Wow. So sometimes God allows us to go through some of these things to equip us, to prepare us for journeys like this, for a purpose such as this. Now that you have gone through this and you have come to the realization that your mother did not do a good job by even introducing you to menstruation, which to me sounds a bit unbelievable, but it's happened. She could not talk about it. Your mother was not powerful enough. But now you have realized what harm your mother has caused you. So if you allow yourself to heal and go through the process to salvage your marriage, you will be equipped to bring other people who are in this situation. So don't think that it is finished for you. It is not finished for you. This may be the beginning of something big in your life if you decide to work towards it, to remedy the situation.
Wow. Wow. So if I get you well, before you go on.
Right.
Okay. So before you go on, from what you just said, if she has to talk to her mother about this, from what you just said, if whatever we go through, then we should just probably like see it as a training ground or a learning process for us. But get you well from what you just said. All right.
Exactly.
So before you go on, I think you answered the question, because the blind guy, his wife, their life asked a question. I would like to ask Precious what advice she would give to the lady for addressing the intimacy in her marriage. Now, she's unable to get advice. So I think you just tackled that. So you can please go ahead with what you were sharing.
Okay. She said her mother did not even teach her menstruation.
Yeah.
Does she know how her mother grew up? Did her mother get it? Was her mother abused by her parents? Because every mother's wish is to see the daughter as a responsible woman, get married, build her own family. So overprotection also makes mothers go wrong in bringing their children. They think that being protective and wanting all the world for their daughters, by the standards of the society, they are doing their daughters good. But they end up breaking some of these girls who are not daring. Growing up, I thought I was daring enough. I mean, I could stand shoulder to shoulder with men. For me, that was the strength. But for someone at my age then, she was like a pro in the business when it comes to intimacy already.
Wow.
You understand? Yeah. So it depends on how we all understand what strength, our own definition of strength and weakness.
Yeah.
So assuming the mother was brought up being abused in quotes by her mother and her father, then it's a situation she would even dread to talk about. Not to say that she wants to open up to her daughter about it, because she has not overcome, she has not gone through the healing process herself. Maybe the mother did not plan on having her at the time she had her. I can't say. But if that was the situation, then her mother was not even ready for motherhood at the time.
Hmm.
Assuming the mother married before she had her, the mother still did not understand herself before she had
Yeah.
her. So she did not. No, if you don't have what it takes, how can you impact? You don't. If you don't have, if you are not full, if this is all I have, and I keep pouring and I finish pouring, and now I am empty, how can I pour more? I cannot.
Hmm. Hmm.
I cannot.
That's very true.
I need to
That's
be
very true.
full to pour.
That's very true.
I need to be full to pour, so that even if I pour half of the content and I'm still left with half, because of the half that is still remaining, I know how it is like. So I will go in search of more to refill.
That's very
And
true.
trust me, Holy Spirit refills us.
That's very
But
true.
Bible says that study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved also means that seeking information, educating yourself, not only going to school, no, seeking information from all angles, all angles, motherhood, cooking, skills. I mean, it cuts across. So if you don't have it, how can you give it?
Okay. Okay. We have a question again from the blind guy, his wife, their life. So basically, the question is, the Holy Spirit is what you are suggesting, but you are here and we want to hear from you. How did you figure things out by the time your last child was coming? What did you do, or who advised you? From what you said, that your something came up, your realization time came up when you had your fourth child. I think that's what he's asking the question to. What did you do? What did you figure out, basically? So they want to learn.
What did I figure out? I figured that I was not enjoying sex with my husband. I thought that it was more of a chore than mutual agreement to be vulnerable before each other. I never saw it that way. I never saw it that way because I never enjoyed it. So every time you want to do it, you don't care about me. So I could say, okay, this was my aha moment I'm sharing. I could say, okay, do it the way you want. And I'm lying down like a piece of log.
Wow.
Sometimes I give in, sometimes I say no. And it has to be a tug of war. And he's like, do you want me to go out? And I'm like, even if you go out, you tell me.
Wow.
So we bottle up things because something is not going well in the bedroom. So the slightest thing that you can brush off, you keep it. So you are bottling up, before you realize it's exploded.
Wow. I want to
There
ask
was
you a
this
question.
time we went.
I want to ask you a question today.
He asked, okay.
So does it mean that you not enjoying it at the time, was it because you didn't know anything about it, how to go about it, or what was the challenge, or you were not taught about it at all? What was the challenge?
Okay.
Because it feels like
so
this
the
is quite
challenge. The challenge was I wasn't enjoying it because probably there was no connection between my husband and I. The involvement of third parties, broke the connection.
Okay.
You understand? So let me say it's more of the connection and also not really understanding why you are here.
Wow.
But you are here and you can't come out.
Wow.
You are here because Bible says God is against divorce. You are here because your family says no one goes into marriage and comes back home. So you are forced to be there. You are confused, trying to figure things out yourself, and then someone comes to put his burden on you. And you realize that you are also half educated. You're right, you're right, you're right. So you're right in trying to fight for your right. You say, okay, I'm not going to do it today. I give it as and when I feel my body can take it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I give it as and when I feel my body can take it. Or sometimes it's not the woman, but the man.
Yeah.
Maybe the man has not discovered his 5 languages. You know, you can't just get up and say, I'm coming to do this, like I'm coming to do it. It's time for business. Lie down and open up and let me do it. It can never be possible. It cannot make the marriage thrive. It rather breaks the marriage. So when you think you are the man, you know, and you think you've had sexual partners and none of them have complained that you are not good, and your wife is suddenly complaining. First of all, it breaks the ego of the man. And mostly they would not want to listen because no woman has ever told them. Not every girlfriend would be honest enough to tell you this in your face. The best person to tell you the truth is your wife, because she is with you 24/7. You sleep on the same bed, in the same room. You are vulnerable with each other most of the time. So after the numbing stage of the relationship marriage, you realize that I can say it as it is without fear or favor. So when the woman begins to say, the man begins to feel hurt, the man begins to feel disrespected. So the woman is saying, this is what I feel. The man is saying, you can't teach me how to do it. No one has ever told me this. So lack of understanding quenches that desire to even do it. Victor, are we still on?
Yeah, we are
quenches
on.
the desire to even do it. Yes, it quenches the desire to even do it. So like I was saying before you came in with your question, there was a problem and my dad had to sermon us, or my husband sermoned me before my husband.
Wow.
And I heard my dad say, okay, if she doesn't do it the way you want, you have to take your time to teach her. Take your time to teach her the way you want it. And I heard from somewhere also that communication in this time is very crucial. I want it like this. I don't want it like this. Now, this information came at a point when I was having my second child, I had episiotomy. And after the stitches, should I say I was overstitched?
Okay.
So I was not normal again. I became smaller.
Wow.
Already, I don't enjoy this. And it has become smaller. What do I do? So the problem with intimacy increased in my home.
Wow.
Then my dad says this. So my dad says, have you considered taking your wife back to the theater for the problem to be corrected? Then my third boy came in. So after my dad settled that issue between us, my third born came. And then after the third boy, who is my fourth born, for some reason, I don't know how it all started, but I thought that I was suffocating. I needed a different group of people to network with. So I found myself in a school, and I meet this woman who would just touch me and start and tell me, oh, she asked intimate questions, and she tells me, open up, tell me what it is. And nobody has ever touched me in that manner. So I will look her in the face and I'll tell her, we will talk when we close. you know, you need to be gifted. You need to know your purpose to touch people in this way, to solve their problems, to save generations. And this is exactly what this woman did. I would be in the room in my home and she calls me on phone and she'll ask me, where are you? What are you doing? I want you to get Candice by your bedside, do A, B, C, D, entice your husband. And Victor, by the time I started to understand the things she was talking about, Holy Spirit took over and started teaching me. So sometimes I'll just pick up my phone and call her and I'll say, Mommy, da 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 da. And she'll say, you are a good learner, my daughter. So I allowed myself, I availed myself after I was touched by that woman. After I was touched by the questions she asked, that made me bitter. I opened up. I didn't open up completely because I was also relying on God. I was also always praying. I want this thing to work. I want this thing to work. I can't go out. I don't know where to go. So I was praying. I believe that God even brought her my way. We met, and not long after that, somewhere, somehow, we all parted ways. The whole community, I think they closed down their school, so we could not continue the relationship. But the impact was made. I availed myself as well. I was open to learn. I was open to, I was willing to make it work. So I prayed. I availed myself. So Holy Spirit started to teach me. Like I said, that was the beginning of my ministry. I don't know if I have answered his question.
I think you have. Because she just indicated that these are the answers that the lady is looking for. I'm the wife chatting here, and I get it. We women aren't told certain things about intimacy, and so we don't enjoy while the men feel accomplished. I think you have said quite a lot, which is quite deep things, and the women who are watching and those who watch later, I'm sure they will learn from you. You've said quite a lot. You've said quite a lot and quite some deep things. Thanks so much for sharing these things.
You're welcome. Even though they are very intimate, like I feel I'm giving. Each time I've had to open up this way and make myself vulnerable, I feel that I am giving to that young woman who is going through this problem. There are a lot of women, even older women I have come into contact with that I have had to use my experience to coach them. And it works.
So the experience
I'm talking about.
So the experience you are getting, it doesn't matter whether you are old or young, you still get it anyway. All you need to do is just be sure that you are open to learn and to grow.
Exactly.
And open up and have
Find
good
yourself
conversation.
Find yourself the right company.
Wow.
Because not every teacher is good enough for you. So find the right teacher.
Yeah.
Not every information that seems to be working for others would work for you. So you need to gather the information, sift it, and then pick out the nuggets that you need, that is applicable to you. You don't apply everything, because all I am sharing here today may not work in totality for you. That is why you need the coach. So the coach guides you what works, what doesn't work, what your personality type, your husband's personality type, your strength, your weaknesses, your finances, your individual differences counts a lot. They are very important. That is why we all must have coaches. I have a coach I am older than. I am about 7 years older than her.
Wow.
But she touches me in a place. I have coaches. I have 3 coaches, but I have a life coach that touches me in a certain place.
Wow.
I'm 7 years older than her. And I get people coming to me. who are older than me. Once the person is able to help you find solution to your problem, don't think about the age. Don't think about the educational background. The person has something good to offer. Go for it.
Wow. 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 So all hope is not lost. There are people out there who can offer help to this lady. That is great to know. So great to know. So great to know. So great to know. Thanks so much for sharing this. This is loaded. So loaded. Wow. So loaded. We're so blessed to have you.
We bless
So
God.
blessed to have you on this. So blessed to have you on this. I think our time is up, and we'll make some time again to discuss the other subjects. We'll see if I can have other people on as well to join the other subjects, and then we'll see how we can address that. But God bless you so much for coming and sharing this with us. We so appreciate you, and this means a lot to us. I'm sure our audience watching you, they so appreciate this that you've shared with them as well. Those who watch later will learn and they will leave their comments. Once they do that, I'll get it back to you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for
I'm
tuning
grateful for
in.
your time.
Equia Global, thanks for tuning in. Blind Guy, his wife, their family, their life. Thanks for tuning in. Equia Global says, bless you, precious. Bless you too. And okay, let me see this. Let me read these few ones. We have 3 children have been overstitched as well. I talked with young women to explain how to get past that. I didn't see myself as a coach, but we can help each other. Wow. Thank you so much
Yes.
for thank you so much
Yes.
for this. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for this. And thank you so much for tuning in and coming on board to share this with us. We so appreciate it. All right, Precious. Thanks for joining.
Thank you,
Um,
Victor, for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks, your
my
viewers,
pleasure.
for joining us and
My
contributing.
pleasure.
I'm
My pleasure as
grateful.
always. My pleasure as always. So tell us real quick where we can find you. Anybody who wants to reach out to you, tell us where we can find you at. So we'll definitely will leave you to your
I live in Tema. I work online most of the time. So
yeah.
if you allow me, I can share my numbers.
Please do.
Is
Please do.
that okay?
That's fine.
05616 25475. That is my WhatsApp line. And
Okay.
my now contact for calls is 020
Yeah. Please go ahead.
388 3515. 050, sorry, 050 388 3515.
Okay. Okay. So I'm sure
You
they
can
will reach out
contact
to
me
you.
on WhatsApp or call me. You can also send an email, flourishama@gmail.com.
All right.
Flourishama@gmail.com. Flourishama is one word. Gmail.com.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll put your details in the description. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, they'll quickly do well to reach out to you, send an email, call you, or WhatsApp you if they need any help in these lines. Thank you so much for joining. We truly appreciate you.
I'm
And
glad to help.
thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.
Blind Guy, his wife, their family, Equia Global, Henrietta, and all those who joined from the beginning. God bless you so much for tuning in. Truly appreciate you. All right. So let's all say bye bye to Precious for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right. So that's the end of today's session. I'm sure you learned a thing or two. If you have, please do well to share this video with your friends. Let them watch to learn a thing or two from this, and we truly appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kwacho Global, and peace out.